We are going to discuss the chapter chemical reactions and equations. We are familiar with many chemical changes occurring around us in our daily life, and some of these are: a freshly cut apple exposed to atmosphere becomes brown after some times. Iron articles such as pan or a nail or tawa gets rusted when left exposed to humid atmosphere for a long period of time. Same way, when we respire, then also the chemical reactions occur. We inhale oxygen and exhale carbon dioxides. So, the nature and identity of the initial and final substances will change. So, in chemical reaction, it is a process in which the physical and chemical properties of the original substances change as new substance with different physical and chemical properties are formed. It means two kinds of substances: the substances present before the change and the substances formed by the change. Means initial and final substances will be there, and these will be termed as reactant and product respectively. Initial substance will be termed as reactant and final substance will be termed as product. Let's see what is the definition for it. Present at the beginning of the reaction, those will be termed as reactants, and which are the substances formed by the chemical reactions, are termed as products. I repeat, which are present at the beginning, those will be termed as reactants, and which are present at the end will be termed as products. There is a reaction. The example given here, the first one, when methane react with oxygen, it will give rise to carbon dioxide and water. So methane and oxygen, these are termed as reactants, and carbon dioxide and water are termed as products, right? So how do we come to know if a chemical reaction has taken place? So chemical reaction is identified by any of these four factors. The first one, change in the state, means solid can change into liquid, liquid can change into gases, or solid can directly change into gas. Same way, change in the color. Any color can be observed. Evolution of any gas, for example carbon dioxide or hydrogen, any other gas can be observed. Change in temperature can also be there. Change in temperature means the substance which has reacted maybe that has released the heat, and the product may has higher temperature as compared to the reactant, right? So here where there is one example, when potassium iodide react with lead nitrate, it will produce a yellow PPT of lead iodide. You can observe the one of the changes which can help us to know that the chemical reaction has taken place or not, and that is the yellow color. You can see here, and this is very important. You can be asked to tell the observation of the reaction when potassium iodide react with lead nitrate. So it is very much clear from this slide, the color change will be yellow color, right? And after this, one more reaction is there, that is a reaction of magnesium ribbon with air. So you can observe that in this activity you will take the magnesium ribbon that will burn with the dazzling white flame and changes to a white powder, and this white powder is magnesium oxide. You can collect the white powder formed on the watch glass when a moist red litmus paper will be brought in contact with this ash. Magnesium oxide will turn blue. This is because water react with magnesium oxide to form magnesium hydroxide. It means it is basic in nature, which turn red litmus blue. There is now another reaction, that is a reaction of sodium carbonate and dilute sulfuric acid. You can see here that sodium carbonate will react with sulfuric acid, which are the reactants here. These will react to give the product, that is sodium sulfate, with evolution of a gas, that is carbon dioxide, and water, H2O, will be formed in this very reaction. Moreover, the observation which can help you that the carbon dioxide has been produced, that is, you will observe the brisk effervescence which will occur due to the evolution of the carbon dioxide gas. Here in this slide you can see that when reaction of sodium carbonate with dilute sulfuric acid occur, then carbon dioxide will release, and effervescence you can see here in these very containers that shows you the presence of carbon dioxide. So these are the changes which will help you to know that the chemical reaction has occurred or not. Now let's see what is the next reaction. The next reaction is to study the chemical reaction between zinc and an acid. You will see when zinc react with an acid, that is sulfuric acid, you will get zinc sulfate with hydrogen. I will let you know later that how these reactions occur, how this reaction takes place. But here we need to know only the changes which will help us to know that the chemical reaction has taken place. Let's see. When the zinc granules will be added in sulfuric acid, then the reaction will take place. Fine. And you can take one burning candle. You can take one burning candle near the flask, as it is shown in the diagram also. You can see in this diagram there is one stand, test tube. In the test tube there is dilute sulfuric acid, zinc granules. When these will react according to the previous reaction, hydrogen bubbles can be seen. Then the hydrogen gas will be passed through the delivery tube, and you will bring one burning candle towards this delivery tube. Then the pop sound will be produced, which will help you to know that the hydrogen gas has been produced. Fine. So sometimes you can be asked to write an activity which shows the evolution of hydrogen gas or the presence of hydrogen gas during this reaction. So you can explain it. So I have told you whenever there will be a chemical reaction, the changes which can be observed, taking and giving of energy, right? Sometimes you give energy, heat energy to a reaction, right? Only then the reaction will take place, and that reaction will be termed as endothermic reaction, where energy is absorbed. For example, cooking of food or any photosynthesis reaction is there. These reactions are given in your book also. After this, when you talk about exothermic reactions, so exothermic reactions are those reactions which will not take heat, but when once the reactant reacted with one another, the product will be formed and the product will release heat energy. That will be termed as exothermic reaction. And I have told you the example in the starting of fruit, where you can observe the change in color. Apart from the example of this fruit, I have given you many other chemical reactions examples in which the change of color is observed. I have told you about the yellow color. Same way, evolution of gas can also be there, which will help you to know that the chemical reaction has taken place. As we have seen, the evolution of carbon dioxide gas and evolution of hydrogen gas was there. Right? After this, formation of precipitations will be there. What is precipitate? It is an insoluble solid that is formed when two liquids react. So combination of vinegar and milk, when these both will react, so you can see an insoluble solid that is formed when these two liquids will react. So that will be the precipitation reaction, and in that case you will observe the chemical change and you will come to know that something has happened between these two reactants. That's why the PPTs, or you can say precipitation, is formed. After this, what is chemical formula? In a if you go with chemical formula in ninth class, you have learnt about it. It's a method of representing a compound using chemical symbols and numerical subscript. For example, if you say magnesium oxide, you write its symbol MgO. Mg is for magnesium and O for oxygen. If you have to write the formula for Fe2O3, you are writing its symbol. Fe is for iron, and again O for oxygen is there, right? And but there is one more question you need to recapitulate here, that how to write the chemical formula. You know very well there are two types of ions, positive ions and negative ions. Positive ions are termed as cations and negative ions are termed as anions, right? So positive ions you always get after losing the electrons from the outermost shell of an atom, and negative ions you will get after gaining the electron from the outermost shell of an atom, right? So when the atom will gain the electron, it will become negatively charged, means anion, and if the atom will release the electron, then it will become positively charged, means cation, and you will get here the formula. So let's see how will you come to know it is cation or anion from the valencies. But before that, I have told you the first thing you need to keep in your mind to write the formula is their symbols. If you know the symbols, only then you can write the formulas. In ninth class, you have read about different elements, their atomic numbers and their symbolic representations also. As here it is written for iron it is Fe, for phosphorus it is P, for magnesium it is Mg. So many symbols. For hydrogen it is H, for helium it is He, for boron it is B, for nitrogen it is N, and for oxygen it is O, for neon it is Ne, for sodium it is Na. Secondly, you have to use the valency to write the formulas. So what is valency? The number of electrons which can be shared, which an atom can lose or it can gain to complete its octet, right? So you can say the valency of an atom and an ion is the number of electron it shares, loses or gains in a chemical reaction to become stable, the number of bonds it forms with other atoms. So that will be termed as valency. If I give you here one example of sodium, then its atomic number is 11 and its valency is 281. So it needs to remove one electron from its outermost shell. So it means its valency is 1. So it will become positively charged, means cation. So there are few rules to write the chemical formula in front of you. Firstly, write the symbols and write valency, then cross over the valency, and then cancel down the ratios if necessary. Write correct chemical formula. Okay, this you have already done. You need to recall it once so that you will not face any problem when we will deal with the chemical equations and to balance them. After this, you can have one example of it, of sodium chloride. Sodium is having valency 1. If you go with chlorine, its atomic number is 17. Configuration will be 287. So it need only one electron to complete its octet. It will become 288. So it means it is negatively charged anion. So you will say sodium and chloride both are having valency 1 1. When the crossing over will be done, then you can see Na1Cl1. There is no need to write 1 and 1 again. So in this way, there are lots of examples which you can do, from your previous class chapter of 9th also. But here in this class, we are going to discuss the next topic, that is chemical equations. When you go with chemical equations, what are these chemical equations? The question arises. Okay, so what is this chemical equation? It is a statement used in chemistry to represent a chemical reaction, right? So the description of a chemical reaction in the form of a sentence is quite long. It can be written in simpler form also. The simplest way to do this is to write it in the form of words called word equation. And in word equation, we use words to represent the substances involved in the reaction. Okay, so let's see here. There are few symbols which can help you to tell that what they denote. If there is plus sign in any of the chemical equation, it means it will show the combination of the reactants or products. If there is a symbol of arrow, that will show you that something has been produced, something has been formed. And if there are symbols like written as S, L, G, AQ, S means solid, L means liquid, G means gas, AQ means aqueous substance which is dissolved in the liquid. Same way other arrows were also there. And what is now chemical reaction, which I have already mentioned? It is expression in which symbols and formulas are used to represent the chemical reaction. For example, magnesium will react with oxygen to give rise to MgO. But you can frame the correct formula only if you know about that how to frame the formula according to their valencies. Okay, so it's a shorthand for a chemical reaction. So if you there are the symbols which have been written along with it also. The arrow is showing you that the reactant has been changed into product. So this has also been shown here. One of the chemical equation, the symbolic form is shown to you, in which the two hydrogen react with two oxygen with one molecule of oxygen and will give rise to two molecules of water, right? So we have discussed in this regarding what is chemical reaction. We have discussed that how will you come to know what changes has been observed in the chemical reactions, right? And